Yo, peace was good. Welcome to the Store My City collection. This is part 125. Um, I know you guys enjoy when I do these videos. I enjoy doing them too. I'm doing this off my cell phone because I don't like the quality from the webcam. So this is the best I could do, fellas. Until I get a better camera, just gonna have to deal with it in the webcam as well. But I just wanted to try my phone and shit like so. But yeah, let's get on with it. I'm gonna call this video. I'm gonna dub it the thrift store edition, and the reason why I say that is because all the CDs I got it from a couple thrift stores and shit like that along the way. So just want to show that, you know what I mean. So I didn't go to no CD store or anything like that. I got it like Goodwill and other places and stuff like that. So but yeah, let's get on with it. First I want to show you guys is Pastor Troy with his 2006 album By Choice or By Force, released in 2006. Pastor Troy is an MC from Atlanta, Georgia, College Park to be exact. Got to start back in the late 90s, I think like 98, 99. He was part of a group called the Down South Georgia Boys, or DSGB, and he released his first album, We Ready, I Declare War, that came out, I believe, in 99 or 2000. But that album goes for a lot of money. It's very rare. It's hard to find, and I would like to get my hands on that. I would like to check that album out. If I like it, I definitely would try to get it. But it goes for a lot of money online, so that's like wishful thinking. But needless to say, I've always liked Pastor Troy. Like, he always made dope music. You know, my introduction to Pastor Troy was actually back in like the early 2000s, like around 02, 03. And he had a couple of songs that he put out. I think he had an album called it was called Universal Soldier, I think it was called. I heard a couple of songs off that album. It was actually pretty good. So I picked it up. I'm like, okay, let me check this album out. And this album got some fire, man. Production here is done by like DJ Squeaky and a couple other people. Very, very dope. What's interesting about this album is that Pastor Troy, he goes at Little John. He does diss tracks to Little John, Little Scrappy, and a couple other cats, man. But yeah, pretty dope album. I like some of the songs I like. Murder Man 2, which again he was dissing Little Scrappy and Little John, a couple other people on over there in Georgia. I Represent This, Can I Get a Witness? Another diss track. I'm the Shark in the Water. That was pretty dope. Crossroads. Who Do I Trust? Drop That Ass was pretty cool. Excuse me. Vegas was pretty dope. What else was dope? Down for Life was pretty good. On the Block and 26. Those are the songs that I liked a lot. Pop a Few Bottles I don't really care for, featuring Rashida. Yes, the same Rashida that was on Love and Hip Hop. She was on this album, but I didn't really care for that song. It's just I didn't really care for it. But pretty good album. And what I like about it, like I said, it has like that Memphis, like that 3-6 Mafia crunk kind of feel to it. And like I said, because DJ Squeaky does some of the beats on this album, so you definitely, and they've worked together before, so you're definitely gonna get that sound. You know what I mean? And DJ Squeaky is a lot of controversy, because DJ Squeaky, a lot of people can say that he was the first to come out with the sound that 3-6 Mafia is known for, and then DJ Paul and Juicy J say different, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of history with that. But yeah, this is a Pastor Troy with By Choice or By Force. This is released in 2006. All right, next album, still in College Park. Pastor Troy with Stay Tru. This is also released in 2006. Stay Tru, like I said before, not as good as By Choice or By Force, but got some decent joints on here. I like the song Light On By Her Crib. Police Can't Break It Up was pretty good. Where the Hoes, that was pretty good. Pose and the Cost was pretty good. Attitude Adjuster was pretty good. Get Down, Lay Down, and Off in This Game was pretty good. But it was good, but again, I prefer the first time I showed you guys the By Choice By Force. I prefer that over this album, but this is pretty decent though. But yeah, this is Pastor Troy with Stay Tru, released in 2006. All right, next album, we can go to Memphis, Tennessee. We got Gangster Bull with Street Ringers Volume 1. This is a mixtape. This came out in 2004. Like I said, it's a mixtape. It's not an official album. There's some songs I do like on here, like Sippin' and Spinning, featuring Player Fly, PB, and Bun B of UGK fame. That was pretty good. What else? Getting High was pretty good. Mama was pretty good. What's another good song on here? Changes, Soap Opera, We in the Streets, and those are the only songs I like. The rest was kind of iffy. I wasn't really too crazy about that. But yeah, Gangster Bull, Street Ringers Volume 1. This is a mixtape, came out in 2004. So I do have a first album, Inquiring Minds, that came out in 1998. That's a dope album. I need to get a second album that came out in 2001, but that side of print goes for a lot of money. So would love to get my hands on that at some point in time. But yeah, Gangster Bull with Street Ringers Volume 1, the mixtape, released in 04. See, I'm not hip-hop, I'm not South biased like some of y'all motherfuckers be saying, so eat a dick for those that say that. So however you feel, that's on you. So next album, oh man. Oh man, this album, whew, man. Alright, Hurricane G with All Women, released in 1997. Hurricane G, for those who don't know, MC, I believe she's from, I want to say she's from East New York. You know, for affiliation with Eric Sermon, also known as E-Dub's baby mother, to say the least. This came out in 1997. Oh man, this album was like really hard to listen to. I mean, there was some decent tracks on here, but I feel like her voice, oh god, her voice is it's an acquired taste. I'm just gonna put it like that. But I feel like some of the production could have been a little bit better, because you know, Hurricane All Women, I was kind of expecting Eric Sermon type beats, or Eric Sermon doing the production, but he was non-existent on this album as far as like production. But the songs I do like is All the Way Live, which is pretty good. Underground Lockdown was pretty good. Boricua Mami was good. Coast to Coast, No Love, and De Corazon. Those are the only songs I like with this album, but everything else I wasn't really too crazy about. I think the main problem too was, like, again, the production. That whole, she was trying to go for that whole that bad boy sound that was prominent in the East Coast in the late 90s. Unfortunately, just wasn't too crazy about this album. Could have been a lot better. I like the album cover. Domingo does some of the production. Domingo's a dope producer. Domingo, he did the beat for KRS-One, the MC. So you guys know that song. He did the beat for that. So but yeah, this is Hurricane G, All Women, released in 1997. It is out of print, but it's dirt cheap. You get it for dumb cheap online. So all right, next album is a soundtrack. We're gonna go to Houston, Texas. We're gonna go with Jason's Lyric, released in 1994. Dope movie and dope soundtrack, man. This is really good. This is back then when soundtracks mattered. It definitely would play a big important part. I love this soundtrack. It's really dope. I believe the singles off this album was You Will Know, with BMU, which is Black Men United. It was like a whole bunch of people. And in fact, that song was actually D'Angelo's first appearance on Wax. Was on this soundtrack, on that song You Will Know, because I think he did like co-production on the album. He does sing in his album and his song and stuff like that. But that song was okay. That had like more like a kind of like a gospel kind of feel to it, so it wasn't really my thing. But you got songs like Forget I Was a G, that was pretty good, by the Whitehead Brothers. Candyman with LL Cool J. Candyman, I've mentioned that before, I believe, when I did the Mr. Smith album a couple years ago, where LL Cool J, at the time, he had like a little, he had a little beef with Def Jam at the time, so he made a song called "Fuck This Shit," and then he dropped he leaked a pretty much like the demo version of Mr. Smith. It was called Double L Cools Down or some shit like that. It came in like '96, but it was recorded. You could tell it was recorded in like '93, '94. I would say more than '94, and the song Candyman was on there too. That kind of thing. So this song is actually on. I think it's like the only song. Oh, and Mr. Smith was on. Hey Lover was on that joint too. So but Candyman, like I said, if you want to hear like a good clean version of that song, it's on this album. So definitely check that out. If Trouble Was Money was pretty good. Just Like Papa was pretty good. If You Think You're Lonely Now with Casey of Jodeci, that was pretty good. Up and Down with Jay Quest, Walk Away, 5-Footed Crew, that was pretty good. Pretty much the whole thing was good. That's How It Is by Ahmad, that was pretty dope. First Round Draft Pick with the Twins, love that joint. My favorite song, and I've showed you guys the Twins album, the Conversation album that he dropped in '95 in one of my CD collections a while back. And I've mentioned that song was actually my favorite song of the album, and it's on the soundtrack. Go figure, that's pretty dope. I really enjoyed that. Brothers and Sisters, J.O. Felony, that was pretty good. Turn that down. Yeah, that was pretty good. Nigga Sins the Blues, Spice One, that was pretty good. That's actually featured on America's Nightmare. The only difference with this song, Nigga Sings the Blue, is a difference. The beat is the same, but towards the end, in this one, like in this one, it has like whoever's playing it has like a blues guitar solo, and it fades with the beat. Whereas the one on America's Nightmare has it just has a beat fading out. So that's the only difference. So that was pretty interesting. But I think with the guitar, with the blues guitar, I think I like that one a little bit better, and it kind of fits the album, the song. So I thought it was pretty cool. Track 18, Jesse James with Scarface, which was also featured on The Diary. But the difference was like the lyrics was the same, but the beat was different. The beat on here is different, and the one on Jesse James on The Diary is different. I might have to say that I kind of prefer this one on this album, this Jesse James on the soundtrack over The Diary. Even though the one on The Diary is pretty good, but as soon as I heard this one, I think I fell in love with that one better. But I might have some disagreements with that, but yeah, man, I really enjoyed that. But yeah, dope soundtrack, dope, nice use of like R&B joints, hip hop and stuff like that. It was pretty good. But that's one thing about soundtracks is important, because certain joints you won't find on albums. You only find it on on soundtracks or B-sides or whatever. So I just decided to throw that out there. So the next time you get this album, check it out. I highly recommend it. Next album is Don't Be a Menace, soundtrack released in 1996. Fucking love this movie. It's a classic. Dope soundtrack as well. Really enjoyed this. You got the song Winter Wars with Ghostface Killer, which was featured on the Iron Man album. Love that. That was my favorite Ghostface album. The difference with this one is that there's really no difference. The only difference is the beginning of the song. It plays like the instrumental like Buddha music, that meditation music that the grandma was smoking weed in the background. It plays that for I think 40 seconds, and then the song cuts in. So thought I'd just throw that out there. Then you got Renee with Lost Boys, classic song, but again, the beat is different on this one compared to the one on Legal Drug Money. I obviously prefer the one on Legal Drug Money, which is also the video version, but this one has a different beat. I prefer the Legal Drug Money version because again, the beat fits the storyline better, and it's just, it just sounds better in my opinion. But this one was okay, but it's had a more R&B feel and shit. So thought I'd just throw that out there. So that was Renee, Lost Boys. Funky Sounds was pretty good. Give It Up was pretty good by Jodeci. That sounds like something that could have been on there. The hotel um, concert after the show hotel after party album that came out in '95. Definitely could have been on that album. Can't Be Wasting My Time, which was a single. Mona Lisa featuring Lost Woods or aka Mr. Cheeks. That song was also featured on her first album, 11/20/79, which was her birth date. That was a pretty good album. I don't have that. I need to get my hands on it, but I do have a digital copy of that. But that was a pretty good album. Time to Shine with Lil Kim featuring Mona Lisa. That was pretty cool. Maintained by Eric Sermon. Love that joint. That's definitely sounds like something that could have been on like either Double or Nothing or could have been on the Insomnia album. I love those projects. So that song definitely fits with one of those projects. That was pretty good. We Got More with Shock G featuring the Loonies. It's pretty much like I said, the beat, the sample from the grandma session, smoke session, when she was playing that indie music in the background. They made a beat out of that, and I thought that was pretty cool. Let's Lay Together with Isley Brothers, that was pretty good. I think that was a single too. All the Things Your Man Won't Do, which is pretty good by Joe, dope R&B singer. And that was actually on his second album, All That I Am, that came out the next year in '97. And I believe that was a single too. That was a pretty good song. Tempo Slow by R.Kelly, that was actually featured on his second album, that was solo, I should say, his second solo album. Live Wires Connect, UGK featuring Keith Murray and Lord Jamar, that was pretty good. Up North Trip with Mobb Deep, Rest Peace Prodigy, and Playing Right Back At You in the background, pretty dope. Love that joint right there. Freak It Out with W Fresh, that was pretty good with Luke. Sugar Daddy performed by Sugar T. Sugar T being part of the Click with Be Legit and E40. Yeah, her sexy ass. And that song was actually featured on the Paper Chasing album that came out in '95, which I showed you guys a couple years ago. That's a great album too. It's Time performed by Blue Raspberry. That was pretty good. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Pretty dope soundtrack. Really enjoyed that. Next album, I'm so glad I got my hands on this because I got this second album, but I've been trying to get the first album for a minute. And it is Fu-Schnickens with F You Don't Take It Personal. This was released in 1992. Fucking dope album. You know what I mean? I remember Ring the Alarm came out back in 92, 91, 92. It was a heavy rotation. Uses the tenor saw sample, the Ring the Alarm, recipe to tenor saw. But yeah, known for singles like True Fu-Schnick, love that joint. Yo, the Ali Shaheed Fix remix, man, that shit goes hard. I love that joint. Movie scene was pretty good. Ring the Alarm, Back Off, Heavenly Father, love that joint. That could have been a single too. Not Smooth, that was a single as well. Props was pretty good. Generals, Check It Out, and Bebo. Yeah, the whole album was pretty good. The only song I didn't care for, honestly, was probably Back Off. Wasn't really too crazy about that song, but yeah, man, pretty good song. A pretty good album overall. I do prefer the second album, the Nervous Breakdown album that came out in '94. I showed that a while back, one of my CD collections. But yeah, glad I finally got this album. It is out of print, but it's dirt cheap, so you're not gonna break your pockets with this. But yeah, great album. F You Don't Take It Personal by Fu-Schnickens, released in 1992. Alright, next album. It's an album I already have, but I lost a case like moving down from New York. I lost mad cases and shit. And at the time, I wasn't I wasn't anal when it comes to having CDs in the case and stuff like that. So when I found it, I was like, let me pick it up. It is Rough Riders with Ride or Die Volume 1. Excuse me. Released in 1999. Fucking love this album. You know what I mean? Very, very dope album. Known for singles like Down Bottom with Drag On, Juvenile, and I forgot the other cats. What You Want with Eve. I mean, that was big back in the day. With Eve. Jigga My Nigga. To this day, I can't stand that song. But the beat is dope. I just can't stand that song. It's cool, but it's not something I go to like that. Dope Money, love that joint with LOX. I'm a Rough Rider with a Parlay. Kiss of Death was like a Jadakiss solo track that was pretty good. The Hood, fucking love that joint. Platinum Plus with was that a Big Pun or Fat Joe? I believe it was Platinum Plus. That was pretty good. Do That Shit was pretty good. That was an Eve solo track. That's something that could have been on the first album. That was pretty good. Pina Colada was pretty good, and some X shit that was pretty good. Really enjoyed this album. Kind of on the darker side of things, production wise. You know, it was commercial, but it had like a little street edge to it. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, Rough Ryders-Ryde Or Die Volume 1, released in 1999. Dope shit. Then we got Volume 2, which I just realized I already have this album, but I didn't think I did, but I do. But not too much about to talk about. But known for singles like World War III with Young One, Snoop Dogg, Scarface, and Jadakiss. Got It All, featuring Eve and Jadakiss. That was a single as well. Yeah, this I remember at one point was my favorite edition of the Rough Riders Ride or Die series. You know what I mean? I still listen to this a lot, and that's probably because this was like the first one I copped out of the series, and then I bought Volume 1, and then I got Volume 3 later on, but then Volume 3 was like the last one that was good. And when it came out Volume 4, I think like '05, I was like, no, that was trash. But yeah, dope album. I really enjoyed this right here. Slept on. A little bit more polished compared to the first one, but this actually got some joints right here. Dope shit. Alright, next album is an R&B album. 1 second. Yeah, it's an R&B album. And it is R.Kelly and the public announcement with Born in the 90s, released in 1992. Pretty dope album. It's pretty much the start of R.Kelly. Obviously this is like an R.Kelly solo album, because you know how it is. Like, you already got the artist and then you got the name of the group, but they don't really do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, got some joints on here like She's Loving Me, which I believe was a single off that album, off this album. She Got That Vibe. Definition for Hottie was pretty good. Keep It Street, which he tries to rap, which was okay, but I wasn't really too crazy about that. Born to the 90s. Slow Dance, that was a pretty good song. Honey Love, fucking love that song. Honey Love kind of gave you guys like, I would say like it gave you of what to expect from 12 Play. Kind of opened the doors of what 12 Play would be, and sound-wise too. You know what I mean? Same thing with Slow Dance as well. Hanging Out and Hate Love. But yeah, dope album. Glad I got my hands on this right here. So yeah, dope album. And the thing with this album has like more like a New Jack Swing kind of feel to it compared to his later stuff. So it's like hip hop, New Jack Swing. So it's not the typical R. Kelly that we know, that we all love. He's a piece of shit for all the shit that he's done, but his music you can't deny. But yeah, but I said, like I said, Slow Dance and Honey Love kind of foreshadows of what's to come later on down the line production wise. So yeah, so this is R. Kelly with Born in the 90s with a Public Announcement, released in 1992. All right, next album, we're gonna go to Chicago. We're still in Chicago. We're gonna go with Prince Hakeem with Coming Down Like Babylon. This was released in 1991. MC from, like I said, Chicago. In a nutshell, I did not like this album at all. And to me, it was because of the production. I know the only single of this album was Time to Come Correct, which there was a video for it. Chuck D was featured on that song. He did his thing. They both did their thing. But my issue with this album was the production, because the production, at the time, they had like that hip house feel to it, and like kind of like New Jack Swing, hip house kind of feel to it with him rapping, and like for the shit that he was talking about, it doesn't fit. But then what? It's not really his fault, because at that time Chicago wasn't really known for hip hop. So, that kind of thing. Because Chicago at that time was really known for, like, like house music and things like that. So, he just had to gravitate whatever he can afford or was available for him. So I can't really fault him for that. But I feel like it could have been a little bit better. But yeah, I like the album cover. The album cover was pretty good. But production wise, I feel like it could have been a lot better. And just like it overshadows the subject matter because I really wanted to like the album, but the production I just wasn't. And I love hip house, but if it was like an R&B singer, then yeah, I would enjoy the beats. But for a rapper, for the subject matter, it just didn't do well for me. So, and I'm very particular when it comes to shit like that. But yeah, this is Prince Hakeem with Coming Down Like Babylon, released in 1991. It's out of print too. Next album is Too Short with Chase the Cat. This was released in 2001. This was a really good album. I was kind of surprised because, I'm a fan of Too Short from the 80s and 90s because his post-2000 stuff is very hit or miss because, at that time, like, right after the Get In When You Fit In, that's when he moved to Atlanta. And, he still had the Oakland sound, but then I've noticed that, like, over the years, like in the 2000s, he started adapting that ATL sound. It was like, nah, man, that's not you, man, that's not you. Even though the subject matter never changes, it's pretty much the same shit. But it's what you expect from Too Short. You know what I mean? But pretty dope song, man. A pretty dope album. I really enjoyed it because I'm a fan of his Can't Stay Away album that came out in '99. That was pretty good. But you got songs like Keep Fucking Me. That was pretty good. I Love featuring Trick Daddy, Scarface and Dad. That was pretty good. These Are the Tales. This Is How We Eat. That was pretty good. Candy Paint featuring MC Reed. Rest in peace to him. Fire featuring Eric Sermon. Yo, him and Eric Sermon, I'm surprised they did not put out an album. They need to do that. Definitely need that for hip hop, man. That was pretty good. Can I Hit It was pretty good. The self-titled track Chase the Cat was good. Looking for a Baller featuring Jazzy Faye. Pimpin' Ken was just like a interlude. Domestic Violence featuring E40. That shit goes hard. Love that joint right there. Player for Life. That was pretty good. Analyze the Game. Talking Shit featuring B Legit and Ant Banks. You Stank. Featuring George Clinton and Baby VC and Don't Ever Give Up. Yeah, pretty dope album. I really enjoyed this album. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It's a shame that, Ant Banks didn't really do much. I mean, he did the mixing on the album, but as far as the production, I think he did like 2 or 3, like 1 or 2 tracks production wise, but other than that, that's pretty much it. But yeah, but this is a good album. I enjoyed that. Alright, next album, we're still in Oakland. Too Short related. Is with his 1998 compilation album, Nationwide. Independence Day, the compilation released in 1998. This is pretty good. Like I said, this is a compilation album. At the time, I think like around 96, 97, he had started a record label called Short Records. And pretty much like the first album, it comes with 2 discs. And the first disc is pretty much people that was under his record label with the exception of Casual, because Casual was with hieroglyphics and shit like that. But this is actually pretty good, man. Really enjoyed this album. This is really good. You got songs like Short Dog, Hit 'Em Up. Get Your Hustle On was pretty good. Murder, Spread Your Love was pretty good. When You See Me with G-Side was good. All About It with Pimp C, Too Short and Pimp C, that shit goes hard. Bad Ways, Are You Ready For This? That was pretty good. Bad Ways, I believe they came out with an album, I think in 99, I forgot the name of it. But yeah, definitely would like to check that out at some point. Recognize with Middle Fingers was pretty good. Paper Chase was good. Pivot Ain't Easy. Get All Your Change. Then they got the Whatever Man remix with Redman. I didn't really care for that too much. I prefer the original from Muddy Waters. And then a couple of remixes that Vinyl. I know Vinyl Reanimated did a remix for that, and Pete Rock did a remix for that too. That was pretty good. Yeah, Slick Capone with Hellbound was pretty good. Who Loves with Jail Felony. Silky Fine with Keep It Real is pretty good. Yeah, overall good album. I really enjoyed this album right here. Yeah, Too Short, can't go wrong with it. So this is a Nationwide Independence Day, the compilation album. The compilation released in 1998. Very dope shit. Alright, next album, still in Oakland, and it is Steady Mobb'n with premeditated drama, released in 1997. This is a fucking dope ass album. I really enjoyed this shit right here. This shit goes hard. Production is done by DJ Darrow, who was at one point he was the in-house producer for No Limit back in the day, like when they were West Coast, and then he also worked with SIBO. They did a lot of the production for SIBO and a couple other people. But yeah, this is a great album. Love the production on this shit. This shit goes hard. You got songs like Strong Heart, It's On, Animosity, Kidnap Call, West to South, Dice Game, where I believe was a skit. Check Your Nuts, Trying to Get Mine, Call Back, Blood Money, that was pretty good. They had an EP called Blood Money, so I believe that song Blood Money from that EP was on this album, so I thought that was pretty cool. Up to No Good, that was pretty good. Little N was pretty good. Black Monsters, Four Corners, and If I Could Change remix. Yeah, great album. I was surprised to see this because this album usually goes for a lot of money. It's out of print, so yeah. Any pretty much a lot of No Limit stuff is out of print. It's hard to find, so especially like the early stuff. So I would like to build my No Limit stuff, but it's kind of like wishful thinking at this point because they go for like kilo prices. But it is what it is. But yeah, Steady Mobb'n with our premeditated drama released in 1997. Highly recommend. If you guys like West Coast hip hop, you'll definitely enjoy this album. And KLC does some production on here, but DJ Darrow does I think there's like 12 tracks of the 19 tracks that's on here. So, but yeah, pretty good shit right here. And it has that Tales from the Crypt kind of sound to it a little bit on SIBO, so I thought it was pretty cool. Then we got Master P with No Limit All Stars, Who You With. This was released in 1999. This was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed this joint right here. Because at the time in 1999, to me was the demise of No Limit Records as far as material wise, because like they were because by that time in 98, like after 98, Beats by the Pound left No Limit, and then so they had to like scramble, get different producers and things like that. But this was actually pretty good, man. I actually enjoyed this right here. You got songs like B-Ball, that was pretty good. B-Ball, I believe, was used. They used the it was that basketball. But the way they made it gangster, because I've heard people flip that sample, but they made it more gangster, and so they add like a synth to it, like a synth bass. So that was pretty cool. Cold with it was pretty good. Give Me the Rock, You Ain't a Baller, B-Ball on My Block, Hoop Dreams was pretty good. Put Me in the Game was pretty good. I'm Hot, Smashing Ball, It Ain't My Fault too. That was pretty good. Shake 'Em Off, Bring It to You, Pass the Ball, and the song Wolf I wasn't too crazy about. That's actually on his Snoop Dogg's The Game Is to Be Sold, Not to Be Told, which is I think is a good album in my opinion. It's underrated if you ask me. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, man. But yeah, Who You With, No Limit All Stars, released in 1999. Dope shit. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, got like 7 more albums to go through, but thank you guys for sticking with me. Then we got a Soldier of Love by Sade, released in 2010. This is like a more recent album that she put out. What can I say, man? This is a really good album. Can't go wrong with them. Sade, She always puts out dope shit. And Sade is also the name of the band that she's part of too. So I thought that was pretty genius. That's the name of that's her name, but then she named it her band Sade. So I thought it was pretty interesting. The Moon in the Sky was pretty good. Soldier of Love, which was a single, that was pretty cool. Morning Bird was pretty good. Baby Father, Be That Easy, Bring Me Home, In Another Time, Skin and Safe. Pretty good album. I know some people had they had issues with this album. Some had like mixed reviews on this album. I thought it was pretty good. Obviously, it's not as good as her early albums like Diamond and all these other albums like from the 80s and stuff like that. And obviously like, Love Deluxe was like a 5-night classic. Like everybody knows that album. But yeah, Sade was Soldier of Love, released in 2010. Dope shit right here. Alright, next album is we're gonna go to the Bronx. We're gonna go with Call Me dNice by dNice, released in 1990. dNice being part of at one point being part of Boogie Down Productions. Pretty good album, man. I've been trying to get this album for years. Well, that's a lie. I've been meaning to get this album, but I never got around to it. But I found it at the thrift store. I was like, hell yeah, let me get this shit, man. So, yeah, pretty dope joint right here. I believe there were like 2 or 3 singles. I believe the singles are, there was 3 singles off the album. Crumbs on the Table, Call Me dNice, and Glory. That was also featured on the Glory soundtrack. That was pretty good. The TR Raider is coming. That was pretty good. It's Over, featuring Dawn Lewis. That's my favorite song off the album. It's Over. Love that joint. A Few Dollars More. It's All About Me. Pimp of the Year, and You Don't Stop. And production is done by dNice himself. So this is actually pretty good. Really enjoyed this shit right here. I need to get his second album. Forgot the name of it, but that was actually pretty good. I love that song he did with Tretch on Tired of Flow, which he used. You can tell that Tretch ghostwritten that song because ghostwrote the lyrics for dNice because just the way he was flowing at that time. So and that's Tretch. When he raps, he has that flow. So it's something to throw that out there. But yeah, dNice with Call Me dNice, released in 1990. Dope shit. Next album, it's a compilation album. And it is Tupac with the Lost Tapes circa 1989. This was released in 2000. I remember seeing this album at Circus City years ago, and I used to always see it, but I never picked it up. You know what I mean? The story with this album is that at the time Tupac, he was this is when he was in Oakland. You know what I mean? And this is before Digital Underground. In fact, the music on this compilation album is what caught the attention of Shock G to bring Tupac along the board with Digital Underground. But the story with this is that this album is pretty much like his early material from the late 80s, 88, 89, excuse me. And he was on the group called Strictly Dope. And the producer that they worked with, Chop Master J, did all the production on this album and things of that nature, and he put it out illegally, back in 2000, which was this, and because of that, his mom, Afeni Shakur, God rest his soul, and Tupac as well, put like a cease and desist of putting this album out, releasing it to the world and stuff like that. So you couldn't find it anyways. It was out of print and stuff like that. So, but then I think a couple years later, I think later on, I think in the 2010s, they re-released this album with a different album cover. It was with her permission. She had the overseeing and all that of the album. So I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, this album right here again is just like a bootleg. Not a bootleg, but it was unofficial. It wasn't supposed to come out, that kind of thing. So it was pretty cool, man. I really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? It's not. Don't expect, Holla If You Hear Me or Brenda's Got a Baby. Don't expect that. You're not gonna get that with this album. This has a more kind of an East Coast old school feel, late 80s East Coast feel to it. So, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, pretty dope. I like it. I enjoyed it. It's not the best, but you know, it is what it is. You gotta start from somewhere, right? So it's one of those things. But yeah, and the crazy thing with this album is that he I think in the night it says right here. So it says after losing my home and recording studio in 1991 Oakland Firestorm, I recently came across the tapes I recorded in the summer of '89 with Tupac and Strictly Dope. I assumed they had perished in the blaze like everything else, but to my surprise, they turned up on my mother's basement where I stored it in my belongings between Digital Underground concert tours. So, and I thought Tupac fans would like to hear what his first recording sounded like back when turntables, TR-808, and SP12 drum machines sounded socially conscious things ruled hip hop before Tupac went on to rule the world. So here they are, the Lost Tapes piece, Chop Master J. So that was pretty cool. You know, I thought that was pretty dope. Yeah, but yeah, decent album. You know, it's not the best. Don't expect, you know, the classic Tupac that we all know. Again, it's like it has like a more East Coast, old school, like late '80s East Coast vibe to it as far as production wise and that kind of thing. But yeah, Tupac with Lost Tapes circa 1989, released in 2000. We got about 4 more to go. Alright, next album is Snoop Dogg with Dead Man Walking. It's just released in 2000. Again, another album that was released illegally by Suge Knight. Was not given Snoop Dogg's blessing to put this out. Suge at that time, he was broke, so he was just trying to capitalize money, trying to make money and things like that. And you know, a lot of these songs are like leftover tracks from like the Dogfather era. You can tell by the production because Daz does the production, LT Hutton does production on this, so you can definitely tell this was you know, around that, you know, Dogfather era and things of that nature. Like Head Doctor, I believe had a single, and there was a video for that. You got songs like May I, See Walking, Head Doctor, Tommy Boy, that shit goes hard. Gangsta War with Daz and Corrupt, County Blues, My Favorite Color, Me and My Dogs. This was a decent compilation album. It's not the best. This is definitely like outtakes kind of stuff, and not in a good way. It's just like joints that, you know, stuff that should have been left on the cutting room floor. I mean, I'm one of those people that I love demos, just like the nice guy, like the next guy. Like I am, like I'm a lover when it comes to like lost tapes and like, you know, demos and unreleased shit. I'm all for that, but this album, it's just like, I don't know. It's just, it didn't. It wasn't that good, man. It was okay, but could have been a lot better, man. But again, this was recorded during the Dogfather era, which I do have a new appreciation for that album, but yeah, but this could have been a lot better. But it's not the best stuff in the world. But if you're a Snoop Dogg fan, you know, definitely pick it up. But you know, you're not supporting Snoop if you buy this album. So, but yeah, Snoop Dogg with Dead Man Walking, released in 2000. This is just pretty much in the same vein as like you know, the Chronic 2000 that Suge Knight put out the same year to kind of spite you know, to be spiteful when it comes to Dr. Dre, but it didn't work because Chronic 2001 came out in 99, and you know, it's a lot better. And I'm glad Dr. Dre didn't name it Chronic 2000 because it would have felt dated. I don't know, it just sounds very corny because at that time, like, people was doing that whole 2K and 2000. It was just corny, you know. It was a corny gimmick. Alright, got 3 more. Next album, we got Swiss Beats of Ghetto Stories. Another album that I didn't realize that I already have, but this is pretty good. This is like a, you know, producer album, that kind of thing. Yeah, Big Business with Jadakiss and Ron Isley. I mean, that was big on mixtapes. Shine, featuring Mashawn, that was pretty good. I believe they sampled the Star Wars theme or something like that. That was pretty cool. Oh no, the Jurassic Park theme. Excuse me. Good Times with Styles P, Ghetto Love with L Cool J. That was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Yeah, pretty good stuff. Guilty. I believe that was a single too with Bouncy Killer. I remember having some play on Rap City and 106 in Park, like back in the day. Yeah, this was a decent album. Yeah, Swiss Beats with Ghetto Stories, released in 2002. We got two more. All right. Next album, I was shocked as hell to find this, but I'm glad I got it. I found it, and it is CPO with The Hell in Black. CPO, which I believe stands for Capital Punishment Organization. CPO, they're a group from Compton, California, known for their affiliation with MC. They were under MC Ren's reign, so they were under MC Ren, excuse me. And yeah, pretty good stuff, man. You got members of Little Nation, CPO Boss Hog, DJ Train, rest in peace to him. He died of inhaling smoke in a house fire back in '94. Rest in peace to him. And MC Ren does the production on this album, which is pretty interesting. You got songs Ballad of a Menace, pretty dope. CPOsis, Ren's Rhythm, Flow to the Rhythm, which was okay. The Wall, Homicide, love that joint. What the fuck? Something Like This was pretty good. The Movement and Gangsta Melody. Those are the songs I really enjoyed a lot. This is a really good album. Unfortunately, this is the only album they ever came out with. They broke up around like 91, 92. But CPO Boss Hog, he still put out music. He was like heavy on features and stuff like that. So, but yeah, this is a CPO with To Hell in Black, released in 1990. This is out of print. It goes for a lot of money online. So I got lucky with this, and I got it. So thank you. Whew. I definitely lucked out with this one. But yeah, glad I got this shit right here. And last but not least, it's 8 Ball with Almost Famous. This is the second solo album. This was released in 2001. 8 Ball MGG, you know, Suave House and all that movement, you know, that classic movement. There's only one single off the album with it's called Stop Playing Games, feature P. Diddy. I don't really remember that song too much. I didn't really care for that song anyways. But got some decent joints on here, like Dawn was pretty good, Spit, No Sellout, Daddy feature MJG, that was pretty good. Slab Rider was pretty good, that shit goes hard. Do You Really feature MJG was pretty good. My favorite song, Tonight, Don't Do It feature Concrete, that shit goes hard. Stripes was pretty good. And Don't Forget, those are the songs that I really enjoyed. Not as good as his first album, Lost, which I feel like Lost was a lot better album in my personal opinion, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty decent, but Lost is a lot better in my opinion. Definitely one of the most slept on albums in my opinion. The heads know about Lost, but you know, if you're not a 8 Ball MGG fan, then you definitely wouldn't enjoy this or Lost. But yeah, pretty good. This is cool. Not the best, but it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's listenable. But yeah, it's I prefer Lost over anything. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry that it's lengthy, but you know, just had to do it. You know what I mean? Just had to get it out the way. And that's it, folks. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely stay tuned for more. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Y'all be easy. Y'all be safe. Be careful with this whole election shit going on. Just please be careful. Please. These people fucking crazy. But that's it. That's all I gotta say. Peace.